Hey guys, Neely here. I'm coming in for my Wellness Wednesday today. I'm actually getting it done on Wednesday this week, which is very exciting. So I talked to you guys a while back about thinking about doing a Candida Cleanse and kind of weighing my options and trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I had my doctor's appointment, a little over a week ago or more, 2 weeks ago maybe. And I ran it back by her and she thought it looked great. I told her all about the supplements and all the stuff that goes along with it, the diet and all that. And she said it sounds like a great idea and she's interested to see how it goes for me. And I am going to go over the basics of what I'm doing here in a minute. But of course I want to say I'm not recommending this for anybody. I definitely don't think anyone should do what I'm doing just based on my information. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And this is stuff from information that I've pieced together from podcasts and webinars and different places. It's a program that you can actually purchase for, I think, like $150. And but I got the information when the gal that put it together did a webinar and she kind of gave away all of the information, and then you could purchase for like additional support and all that from the whole program and more like videos and stuff. But I can't afford the $150, especially because the supplements themselves cost about $100. So I can't spring for that $150 for the whole program, but I did piece together the information from what she gave out for free. Also, she's doing another webinar in a week, actually, I think a week from yesterday. So I will put a link down to that information. So if you are interested in learning more about it and considering buying the program, definitely check out the webinar that she's going to be doing next Wednesday, I believe. Like I said, this is stuff that I have pieced together from a lot of different podcasts and from the webinar that she did, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. In that original webinar, she laid out all of the dietary guidelines and the supplements and like the different dosages for the supplements and all that. And I just wrote all that down. I actually did the Candida Cleanse back then, although I wasn't strict enough, I believe, with the diet. Especially, I did do the supplements, but I don't think I did the diet well enough. So I'm feeling like I need to do it again and just do it really, really well and get it really done this time. So that's why I'm doing it again. But that's where I have all the information from. So I definitely don't recommend just jumping into this from what I'm telling you. Listen to the podcast that I link below. Check out the webinar in a week. Consider buying the program if that's something that's in your budget, and don't just follow along with what I'm doing. So first off, I'll tell about how I'm doing since I started 4 days ago. So I'm on day 5. Yeah, day 5 now. And I'll tell you about kind of my experience so far, and then I will turn the camera to the downward angle and show you the information that I put together. I just have it in my planner, just wrote it out. I feel like writing it out helps me to remember it better and gets it in my brain more. So I will turn the camera down and show you all of that. But today is day 5, and on the program you do 4-day rotations of antifungals. So you do 4 days on one antifungal and then switch to another one, and you have 4 antifungals total. So that's a 16-day cycle. And so I just finished my first 4 days of the first antifungal, which was Pau de Arco, which I drank as a tea. And now I'm switched over to the olive leaf extract. And the reason you do the switching the antifungals is that your body's very smart and can figure out how to deal with, or it may not even be your body, but it could be the Candida yeast. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but your body gets used to it, or the yeast gets used to whatever antifungal, and it doesn't work as well if you just keep using the same one. So the way that they combat that with this Candida Cleanse is you rotate them. So you do 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, and then you go back to the first one and do at least 2 of those cycles. So it's at least a 32-day program. And then there's some at-home tests that you can do to see if you're improving with your Candida, if your Candida is getting more under control. And if you find that your Candida is getting under control, you can stop at 2 16-day cycles. Or if you still are showing signs that you have more Candida to deal with, then you can move on to a third 16-day cycle. So it's somewhere between like 6 and 8 weeks total on the antifungals. So anyways, I just finished my first 4 days, and I have to tell you, the first day was miserable. And I was really surprised by that because I eat a pretty healthy diet. I felt like I was in a pretty good place. I was like, I'm just trying to clear up these last few things. I feel like I'm keeping things under control pretty well with my healthy diet, but I felt like I needed just that little bit more push to really clean it out, And like I was just dealing with a little bit extra that just a healthy diet wasn't taking care of. So I thought, it probably won't be that big of a deal getting on the Candida Cleanse, because it wasn't that huge of a shift with what I was eating. But I was miserable. I had a pounding headache. I was exhausted, and this is just the first day. Like I was totally shocked, and my cravings were out of control. And you guys know I don't eat a lot of junk food. It's not like I went from eating donuts and sugar and all kinds of nasty junk food to a super clean diet. I was eating already, like I was on Whole30 for 2 weeks, and then I did the Juice Journey Cleanse for a week, and then I was on the just THM for just a few days in between the Juice Journey and when I started the Candida Cleanse. So I was not expecting detox symptoms like I experienced. It was totally crazy. So I was exhausted. I was craving like crazy. Everything that was sugary, I wanted to eat. And for me, everything sugary in the house was like bananas and raisins and dates and stuff like that. And I just wanted to eat them. And on this plan, you can only have 1 serving of fruit per day, and it has to be either a green apple or a serving of berries. So I had my green apple, and that didn't satisfy. And I wasn't hungry. That was the thing, is I knew I wasn't hungry. It was all in my head. It was all like the candida bugs screaming for food to be fed. And it was really bizarre. And then since then, like days 2 and 3, I was still tired. Like I took naps in the afternoon, but the headache went away, which was really nice. That was only for the first day. And then the cravings have just gotten better every single day, and just to the point where they're very, very minimal. And I have to say, it was really frustrating, especially the first day and then the next couple days when I was having a few cravings here and there, because you guys know me, I am not about deprivation. I hate deprivation, and I've talked to you about how I listen to my hunger, energy, and cravings, and I don't deprive myself. So to have to like just grit my teeth and make it through these nasty cravings was really hard for me. It was really funny because I got angry, like I was just frustrated and upset. And it was obviously like detox symptoms. And I knew that, and I knew it was the candida bugs crying out for sugar or to be fed. And I knew it wasn't really real. So, but I was feeling the emotions. It's like you feel the emotions, but at the same time, I'm like stepping back and watching myself and realizing that this isn't real. I know this is just a reaction, but then balancing that with, but I really feel this way. I'm really upset about this. So it was kind of an interesting dynamic, but thankfully that only lasted for the first couple of days. And I've definitely seen improvement in my mood, and even I felt like exercising yesterday. You guys know that I have not been consistent with exercising recently. It's one of those things where if you just start doing it, you're going to enjoy it, but just taking the first step to start doing it again it just takes forever. It is really hard. But after 3 days on the Candida Cleanse, I was feeling really good, and I woke up and I exercised yesterday morning. I woke up this morning and I was extremely sore, so I just walked this morning. But anyways, all that to say, my energy is coming back up. My mood is coming back up. The cravings are going away. I'm feeling really good. So I know that good things are happening, and it's kind of encouraging. If I had just started this cleanse with these supplements and all that, and I felt exactly the same, then you kind of wonder, is this really something that I need? Is it really doing anything for me? But being that I had that really strong reaction the very first day, and that things have been improving since then, shows me that I did have something going on that I really needed to deal with. So I'm really glad that I chose to do this, and I think it'll be really good for me in the end. All right, so that is how it has gone for me so far. I will keep you updated on how I feel and any symptoms and things that happen along the way. But now I will go ahead and turn the camera down and show you what I have in my planner and just give you an overview of what I'm doing. Again, what I'm doing is not what I'm recommending you to do. Definitely do your research and consider purchasing the whole program, or at least listening to that webinar that's coming up in a week. All right, so here is what I have written down. So the foods, as far as the diet, this is my avoid list. This is my eat list. On the avoid list is sadly coffee. So I'm still keeping that on my diet. Vinegar, including apple cider vinegar. Of course, sugar, artificial sweeteners. The only sweeteners that are allowed are stevia. And she said that xylitol was allowed before, but she found that Candida often comes along with SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and xylitol is not good for that. So she just said just stevia, and I think monk fruit as well is okay, although I've never used monk fruit before. Soy sauce, all fermented foods, which is kind of difficult. So no nice fermented veggies, no kimchi, no sauerkraut, that kind of thing. No mushrooms, no fried foods. No dairy except for ghee and like a high quality grass-fed whey if you tolerate it. And then no tomatoes for the first 2 weeks. No peanuts, no kidney beans, no natural sweeteners, like I said, like no erythritol. And then she doesn't recommend xylitol except for stevia. No gluten-containing grains at all. No yeast-containing foods. No kombucha, that's fermented and that has yeast in it. No citric acid, which is something that's added to lots of different things to preserve stuff. So you just got to watch your labels for that. No alcohol. No pistachios. Those can have mold, same as the peanuts. They can have some mold in them that can be bad for you if you have candida. No balsamic vinegar. And then this is the stuff that you are allowed to eat. She says to eat lots of seaweed if you can, and I do enjoy seaweed snacks. I need to pick up some of those when I'm out at the store today, actually. And then you get, like I said, 1 serving of fruit, which is either 1 green apple or 1 serving of berries. You can have stevia. Lemon water in the morning is recommended. Clean meats, like without antibiotics and junk. Wild fish. You can have butter. I guess I put over here only ghee and whey, but you can have like a nice grass-fed butter. Ghee, grass-fed whey if you tolerate it, pastured eggs, green tea, herbal tea. You can have some carbs like quinoa, millet, amaranth, buckwheat, sweet potatoes, raw nuts and seeds, except for the ones on here, the pistachios and peanuts you can't have, coconut milk without additives, almond milk, all beans except kidney beans and lentils. You can have hummus as long as it doesn't have some bad oils in it, like canola oil or safflower oil. Make sure it has olive oil, guacamole, avocados, vinegar-free salsa, and raw cacao. So this is just the idea of what your plate is supposed to look like for each meal. 40% vegetables, 40% healthy protein, and then 10% carbs. So you're not doing a huge amount of carbs. It's just like half a sweet potato or half a cup of cooked quinoa or something like that as your carbs, which is very similar to THM. And then 10% nuts or fruit. So the fruit is just the apple or the berries. And then the nuts, you can have like a serving of nuts or so a day. So that's an overview of the diet, very basic. Like I said, get information from more than just me if you're going to try to do a Candida cleanse. But also with Candida, the diet is not sufficient to really get the Candida under control. You really have to supplement and do the antifungals. And there are lots of different protocols out there. So this is just what I have come up with and decided to do. There are lots of different good antifungals, but the 4 that were recommended for this cleanse is the Pau d'Arco, which I do as a tea, olive leaf extract, grapefruit seed extract, which actually I've heard that she's changing and she's going to be putting something else in the place of grapefruit seed extract. And so I may get more details on that after the webinar in a week, but I'm still using it for now. And then oregano oil. And so like I said, you do the 4 different antifungals, and you do them each for 4 days at a time for a total of 16 days for a cycle. And then you repeat that cycle at least 2 times, so at least 32 days. And then if you need to add another cycle, you can add another cycle. And you take the antifungals 3 times per day with each of your meals. So that's the antifungal supplements. And then there are a couple more that you do. There's, in the morning, you have to drink this really nasty concoction of bentonite clay and diatomaceous earth mixed with water. And it actually doesn't have a bad flavor. It's just the texture of like dust and dirt. So it's not really fun to consume, but it's not terrible either. It's not the end of the world. So you do that in the morning, and that really helps to like slice open the bad bugs, and it helps your body to get rid of those and detoxify. Both of these are very detoxifying for the body. But she always says, make sure you get food grade of both of these if you're going to do it, because you use diatomaceous earth in gardening, and then you just want to make sure whatever you get is food grade. And then the last thing is Saccharomyces boulardii. That's a probiotic, and you're not supposed to take any other probiotics throughout the day. You're supposed to get rid of all of the fermented foods, and you're not supposed to take a regular probiotic supplement. You're just supposed to take this one at night before bed, and it's a specific strain that is supposed to eat up the bad yeast. So that is the overview of the supplements. I have this supplement schedule that I stuck on my fridge, and this includes more than just the Candida Cleanse supplements. This is other supplements that I'm taking, like my adrenal support that I'm doing for my adrenal fatigue and some other stuff. So I'll just go over it real quick. This is just like what my day looks like with taking all of my supplements. And I did do a video a while back on what supplements that I take on a regular basis. And so like here, when it says AM supplements, you can go to my other video on supplements and you can see what all that is. And my PM supplements here are in that video. And the only one that I think that I'm not taking, that I put in here, was the probiotic, because I'm taking that out for the Candida Cleanse and just doing the other probiotic. So first thing in the morning, I'm taking my diatomaceous earth and my bentonite clay. And for the first week, you're supposed to do half a teaspoon in water. And then after the first week, you do a teaspoon of each, and you continue that for a month. And then I'm doing my adrenal supplement in the morning, and I'm doing 1,000 milligrams of L-tyrosine, which is great for energy. Since I have been kind of running low energy getting onto this cleanse and giving up coffee, I've needed an extra boost. So I'm doing that. And that's one that I found out about from the Diet Cure. And I have a video on all of the stuff about Diet Cure supplements. And so you can look there if you're interested in finding more out about the amino acids, which L-tyrosine is an amino acid. And then I take my 1 teaspoon of myo-inositol, which is one that my doctor got me on, and half a teaspoon of L-glutamine. This is another of the amino acids that I take that I talk more about in my Diet Cure overview and review of the book. And then, so that's first thing when I wake up. And then with breakfast, I take whatever antifungal of the day. That's of the day. And so I'll take my 1 serving of my 1 dose of my antifungal with breakfast. And then with lunch, I take my 2nd dose of antifungal. And I also take my AM supplements. And that's, all of my vitamin D, my multivitamin, magnesium, vitamin C, just all my basics. And those are in that video, my supplements video that I put out a month or so ago. And then with dinner, I take my antifungal of the day again. And then right before bed, I take the Saccharomyces boulardii, which is the yeast-eating probiotic. And I take my PM supplements. And that includes like Triphala and magnesium and vitamin C again. I think that's it right now, because usually I would take a probiotic before bed with my PM supplements, but I'm taking this one instead. So that is kind of what my day looks like as far as supplementation. And then that is kind of what my diet looks like with the Candida Cleanse. And that is what I am doing. I'm trying to keep it super simple. And, if I'm not 100% sure if it should be eaten or not, I just say no. So I'm trying to just really stick to this list, and it hasn't been hard. It's been just fine eating lots of veggies and lots of healthy fat and yummy, healthy protein And yeah, things have been good. Besides the first day where things were a little bit, the cravings were a little bit out of control. But besides that, things have been going really well. So that is a quick overview of the Candida Cleanse that I'm doing. Definitely check the links down below if you're interested in more information. Don't take what I say only. Definitely consider buying the program and listening to the webinar coming up in a week. That is it for my Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.